What's up, people? Just a quick overview of our new language topic for the stage, the genitive case. Just like the nominative, the accusative, the dative, the genitive is a case. And so that essentially means that we're going to get a new set of endings, which are going to express kind of something in themselves and not like add another word like a preposition for like odd means to and ob means from. But genitive case here. What's good about the genitive is I think the book does a really good job of teaching it as like a reading topic where you don't like really need to know the endings as much as you kind of need to just recognize the forms. You need to recognize them in context, and knowing what the translations could be can help you here. But there's some things that are tricky about it, and there's some things that are kind of easy about it. So let's see what those are. The genitive case expresses possession or of, whichever sounds best. So you might see an apostrophe S, which means one person owns that thing, or S apostrophe means more than one person owns that thing. So just in English, apostrophe S is singular and S apostrophe is plural, or sometimes of sounds better. So we're talking like Barbelus's house or the port of Alexandria are all included in the genitive case endings. And so in the first declension, the endings are AE and ARUM. In the second declension, they're I and ORUM. And in the third, they're IS and IS and UM. So just looking at these, there are really only two endings of the genitive that are exclusively genitive. When you see arum and orum, the genitive plurals in the first and second declensions, they're always going to be of the whatevers, feminarum, of the women, servorum, of the slaves. It just kind of is straightforward. But the problem with the other ones is they all can mean something else. We learned all the way back in stage 2 last year that is an accusative. So like servum with the is accusative and singular, one slave receiving the action. But on third declension nouns, is going to be of the whatever. So for example, militum, all right, is not just one soldier. Militum is of more than one soldier. Over on the other side, we see some reused forms also. We know AE and I from stage 5 is nominative and plural. Feminae would be the women. Domini would be the masters. But the big thing that I want you just to add to the mix here is that they can also mean of the. So feminae, AE, can both mean, like we learned in stage 5, the women, plural, more than one, doing the action, as well as of one woman, or the woman's, MAN apostrophe S. Same thing here, right? Domini can mean the masters as the subject of the sentence, nominative plural, but it can also mean genitive singular, of one master, or the master's apostrophe S. So keep these couple endings in mind. They still can be plural, and most of the time we're going to see them, they're going to be plural. But all I really want you to do is incorporate it. Okay, AE and I can also be this apostrophe S or of translation. So for example, Barbili would be of Barbilus or Barbilus's. He owns the house, for example, Wheela Barbili. As much as it could be plural, it could also be genitive singular. And then here's the IS. Now we saw IS as a plural ending, like cum servis means with the slaves. But in the third declension, IS is going to be of one. So urbis, URBIS, is of one city, like per vias urbis is through the streets of the city. The difference here is AE and I in the first and second declensions are identical to the nominative plurals. Again, feminae can be most commonly the women, nominative, or the woman's, apostrophe S. Domini can be the masters, nominative and plural, the masters as the subject, or domini, of one master, or the master's, apostrophe S. The difference here with IS is actually the spelling, and this is one of the few instances where it helps to know those little marks that are above the vowels. To this point, we've really ignored those entirely. They're just for like me to pronounce them correctly. But if you see is, that is if there is a line or a macron, a long mark over the I and IS, it's plural. If there's not, is, a short I, is genitive singular, of one thing. So the difference is this. Just listen to how this ending sounds. Cum servis. Cum servis means with the slaves. plural, there's a mark over that I. Per vias urbis. Even notice how I pronounce that. There's no mark over the I. It means through the streets of one city, of the city. So the difference is between is and is. All right. Whether that's something that's going to help you identify one or the other. It is really contextual. It's really just kind of coming across it in the course of a story. But the thing to take away from this, arum and aurum is always of the whatevers, plural. Is still going to be accusative singular, but just know that sometimes it's of the whatevers. It's plural and genitive. E, and I can still be nominative and plural, all right, for the same words as it's of one person, the same thing, like we said, a woman or a master. And then the difference with the IS's is versus is. Servis, with a long mark over it, is going to be plural. Urbis, all right, I versus E is going to be of the whatever, one singular and genitive. So that might be a little confusing, not a big deal. As we come across them, you'll see that the book does a really good job of leading you to the right translation to start, at least. And I'll point those things out as we go through the stories.